Welcome to Spitbucket, where I'm joined today by Tom Hogan, who is the sommelier at Lake House Dalesford, a top restaurant in Victoria. Lots of hats, lots of stars, lots of awards for your wine list.
Absolutely.
So this man definitely knows about wine. And we've got a very special topic today because we're talking about epiphanies in wine. So we've all had that moment, I hope you've had that moment, somewhere in your wine drinking life where you've had a wine and it's made you stop and it's made you think, wow, I want to work in the wine industry. Then you've had a moment of clarity and you realise there's no money in the wine industry, so you've canned that idea. But anyway, you had that moment, and this is something that Tom and I had when we got to know each other back in 2003. Back in the day.
2003, 2004.
2003 and 2004, and we had a couple of great days in the Barossa and drinking around the finer establishments in Adelaide. And we've got two bottles, courtesy of two very kind wineries who've helped us out today to recreate that moment. So there's both wines from 2002, from Grosset Polish Hill Riesling 2002 and Torbreck Struie 2002. So two cracking wines, and we're very lucky to taste them today. So I'm going to get straight into it. Tom, tell us a quick bit about 2002 vintage generally, and while I pour these, and also just a little background about Grosset, if you can.
Yeah, sure. Look, 2002 in South Australia is considered to be one of the truly great vintages of the 2000s, I'd suggest. And certainly for both whites and reds. I think the Rieslings are absolutely fantastic. If you look at any of the top guys, top producers of Clare Valley Riesling, the 2002 is just singing. So. And
Grosset is a key Riesling producer.
Yeah, absolutely. Jeffrey Grosset's considered to be the best producer of Riesling in Australia.
Yeah.
A couple of years ago, he was named in the top 10 winemakers of the world by Decanter magazine.
Okay.
So, which is a massive accolade.
Yeah.
Certainly, makes a style that is being copied by a number of people. And I think that the fact that people are trying to imitate his style is certainly shows the fact that how well he's respected by the industry.
Okay, let's get straight into it. First thing is still quite a youthful kind of green tinge.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're starting to see a little bit more colour than certainly what you'd see from a current release. But you're quite right. There's certainly it has that almost like a straw green kind of character to it.
And on the nose, what do you see there? Just a bit of development there.
Yeah, just a little bit of that toasty sort of lemon curd sort of thing happening. Gorgeous on the nose, isn't it? Absolutely lovely. Yeah, certainly just that little bit of honey, but certainly I don't see any kerosene in that whatsoever. Yeah. The wine's really pristine, very clean. It certainly shows a lot of that minerality, and that's really a call sign for for Polish Hill Vineyard, as opposed to the other single vineyard, what's known as the Springvale Vineyard, that's found within the sub-region of the Watervale, within the Clare. Polish Hills certainly has a lot more shale and slate in that area, as opposed to the limestone that you find for Watervale.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
And on the palate, incredibly fresh. The wine is 9 years old now, but his still has that core of really bright fruit, the lemons and the limes, and really juicy as well.
Yeah.
The acid's still
There's almost a little bit of that sort of orange peel, mandarin sort of thing happening there as well. But really still taut. And again, that back third of the palate though is all about minerals. It has this lovely sort of chalky sort of texture.
And if you were to sum up this wine in 3 easy points, what are the 3 standout things for you?
Certainly aromatics and sort of its freshness. It certainly speaks of a place, has this sense of terroir. I think that's certainly something that's important in great wine and something that Grosset wines have in an abundance.
Okay.
And number 3, I want more.
Absolutely, I would agree with you there. That is a much more-ish kind of wine. If you've had a Riesling from Grosset, if it's a favourite producer of yours, or you've had some older Riesling from Clare, then leave a comment. Let us know what you thought of it, whether you like that age style. But this is just a pristine wine that still feels so young. Let's get on with our second wine. So, while I open this, Tom, tell us about Torbreck.
Sure. So Torbreck is was created by Dave Power. Dave Power, for those who are familiar with his wines, he basically started off as a winemaker at Rockford, went through the winemaking, the Rockford winemaking school, if you like. A winery that's not only produced great wine, but a number of really fantastic winemakers as well. So certainly...
What's the Struie all about?
Struie is a blend of 2/3 Eden Valley fruit, older vine. So
All Shiraz?
Depending on the vintage, there actually is a touch of Viognier in there. And as much as I tried to track this down, I couldn't work out whether there actually is. But I'm under the impression that there is a small percentage of Viognier here. But certainly it's not that apricot Shiraz Viognier style. Well, it certainly wasn't when we tried it the first time. So. And
that first time we tried it was a trip to the Barossa where I took Tom around some of my favourite, and a budding DJ at the time, took Tom around some of my favourite cellar doors, and we had a great experience at Torbreck. He snoozed all the way back to Adelaide, while I got an amazing line of green lights and absolutely no one to share this wonder with, which was very sad. But from that day onwards, I think you could say that Tom was definitely bitten by the wine bug. So this was one of the wines that got him into the industry. And what are we seeing here on the
nose?
On the nose.
Straight away for me is that licorice all sorts kind of character. There's a touch of oak. Starting to take on some slightly sort of meaty components there.
Meatiness.
Yeah, almost like a charcuterie sort of, very much hung meats. That's certainly in that end of the spectrum anyway.
Oh, loads of texture, and it's a really satisfying mouthful of wine, that is. Not overblown, not overdone in terms of alcohol or anything like that. And
there's still some texture there though as well. Yeah. You know, it's almost comes, the texture actually comes back.
Yeah.
So you have that initial whack of fruit and this sort of lush, velvety sort of texture, and then all of a sudden you think to yourself, oh, you know, where's this wine going? Again, that sort of chalkiness actually comes forward.
Okay, cool. Now, give me 3 things quickly that you like about this wine. In 3 words.
I like the fact that in 3 words. Spice. I love that sort of expression of fruit.
Spice, yeah.
Yep. The weight, it's not overblown. And then 3, I like it because it got me into the industry.
Fantastic. So
that wasn't 3 words, and I apologise for that.
It was never
if you know me well, that was never going to happen.
I think it was pretty good let off for us in those terms. But I just really wanted to show a couple of inspiring wines to you today, and would love to hear your comments of whether you've tried these wines or whether you have your own wine that helped you get into wine in the first place. So definitely tell us about those.
Yep. And I suppose the other thing we say is for you guys to seek out your epiphany wines yourselves, really.
Absolutely. Be brave and order them off great wine lists like Tom's at the Lake House. And we will, I think, have another glass here. But for the moment, we'll say
cheers.
Cheers. This has been Spitbucket, where we spit so you don't have to.